All right, there we go. So good morning, good morning. Beautiful day out there. This is such a gorgeous time of year in my book. So when did you get back, Helen? Oh, did you? Okay. Yay. Well, we've been kind of working through my book and we're on rule number 7 now. So rule number 7 is others are only mirrors of you. So the first time you meet someone, in the first moment, you form an impression in your mind of that person. You decide within the first 4 minutes what you like and don't like. These decisions are based on details that your senses tell you, such as the person's eye color or cologne scent, or on past experiences stored in your memory bank that you associate with this person. Your reactions to other people, however, are really just barometers for how you perceive yourself. Your reactions to others say more about you than they do about others. You cannot really love or hate something about another person unless it reflects something you love or hate about yourself. We are usually drawn to those who are most like us and tend to dislike those who display those aspects of ourselves that we dislike. We view others through the grid of our past experiences, feelings, and thoughts. Usually, we convince ourselves that our perceptions of them are objective and disconnected to any of our own issues. Consider, however, approaching your life as if other people were mirroring back to you important information. If you accept this premise, then each encounter reflects back to you an opportunity to explore your relationship to yourself and to learn. There goes those lessons again. Assume for a moment that the qualities you admire in others, their strengths, abilities, and positive attributes, are really characteristics you have already embraced within yourself. You can therefore allow them to illuminate more clearly your own feelings of self-worth. Conversely, you can view the people you judge negatively as gifts, presented to show you what you are not accepting about yourself. Imagine that every time you are angered, hurt, or irritated by another, you are actually being given the opportunity to heal past incidents of anger, hurt, or irritation. Perhaps viewing weakness in others is an opportunity to extend the loving arm of compassion to them. Or it could be the perfect moment to heal the unconscious judgment you have secretly harbored against yourself. When you approach life in this manner, those with whom you have the greatest grievances, as well as those you admire and love, can be seen as mirrors, guiding you to discover parts of yourself that you reject and to embrace your greatest qualities. To shift your perspective radically from judgment of others or outer to a lifelong of exploration of self or inner is the challenge of Rule 7. Pretty amazing. So please turn inner to self. Close your eyes. And just take a few breaths. Just really noticing what's going on with you today. Emotionally, mentally, physically. Please bring hands to heart center. When we approach life in that way, just learning more about ourselves, we can truly embrace the beauty and the grace that is within all others and in ourselves. Please lower your hands, open your eyes. So we're gonna just start easy this morning. So feel nice and grounded. I want you to feel comfortable. If it's better for you to sit Sukhasana rather than, this is a little more intense on hips, do that. And just start moving with your breath. So inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bring them through heart center. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, stretch them up. This time on the exhale, bring your right hand to the side and arc. Inhale, come back to center. And bring it to the left side and arc. Try to feel really grounded. Inhale, up. Exhale, arc. Just get everything moving a little bit. Inhale, up. Exhale, arc. Inhale, up. And then this last time to the right, just linger there. Take a few breaths. If you're really grounded, your spine's nice and long. And then inhale, come up and switch sides and linger for a few breaths. So rib cage back, long back of neck, stretch through the top of the head. Good. Inhale, come back up. This time you're going to twist to the right. Bring the hands down. Inhale back to center. Twist to the left on the exhale. Inhale back to center. And then twist. Inhale back to center. And twist. And inhale back to center. This time, as you twist, just linger. You can bring the hand to the outside of the knee if you want. Feeling everything, feeling connected, feeling your breath. And then inhale and switch. Lingering, noticing, evaluating your alignment. See if it feels good. On your next inhale, untwist. Switch the shin that you have in front. Interlace your hands in front of you. Press your palms forward. And don't straighten your arms yet, but think, okay, I'm grounded. I've got my sits bones back. I'm lengthening. I've got the rib cage back. I've got the shoulders mostly on the back, and then stretch the hands up. See how your shoulders are feeling. And then you can re-straighten the arms. Just go where it feels like a good stretch for you. Some of you have shoulder issues, so. And then think, okay, press down and stretch up and breathe. And then undo your hands, bring them forward and relace your fingers the opposite direction. And we'll just do that again. Press the palms forward. Stretch up. I know it's so hard to figure out, isn't it? And you can arc to the side a little bit if you'd like. And come back to center and just really stretch up. Feel engagement all up and down your spine. Good, and release. Ah, well done. That feels better already, right? Let's transition to all fours. And move through some cow, cat. And just start by moving with your breath. I like to start in cow. And on the exhale, round to cat. Do that 3 times. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. Cat. And then this time, once you get in cow, just kind of examine your cow pose and pause for a moment. Think really engaged spine and maybe stretch your rib cage side to side a little bit. It always feels good to me. So it feels like when you're stretching the rib cage to the right, your shoulder moves forward, your hip moves back to lengthen. Good, and then pause in the middle, round to cat. The hands away, and same thing, just stretch side to side. And then once you're feel all stretched out, come to a flat back. And I'm gonna just have you bring your hands forward just slightly. Swivel your left foot, just the foot to the side, and extend your right leg long and sweep up to a side plank variation. And just enjoy for a moment. And then come on back down and switch. The right foot swivels, left leg extends long, side plank. If you're really engaged through the rib cage, remember last week how we used our head to really feel long. Good, come on back down. Please come back to the first side. So swivel the left foot, extend the right leg, stretch up side plank. Feel the back of the head, sits bones are back, rib cage is back, really nice and long. And then bring the arm by your ear, palm face down. So yeah, good. And then maybe that little rib cage trick where you arc towards the floor with your head and your arm. Oh man, gets into some stuff. Good, come on down. And switch again. Right foot swivels, left leg long. Feel connection and length first. And then stretch the arm and arc. Couple breaths. And come on down. Good, bring your hands forward a little bit more. Actually, just leave them where they are. I want you to bring your knees wide and your feet wide as well. So you're on all fours, but your knees are wide. Curl the toes and lift the knees and push the hips up and back to a wide downward facing dog. And it's a little bit shorter dog too. So maybe you can even ground the heels down. You'll know. Rib cage back. Press the head back, lengthen through the top of the head. I just want you to feel grounded. Feel all parts of your hand. Good. And then you might have to adjust the feet back a little bit, bring them hip distance apart, and come to a regular down dog and just walk your dog out. Feel the hands grounded. Yeah. And then come forward to plank. Lower your knees, and we're going to have you lower to your elbows and make sure your elbows are right under the shoulders or maybe a little bit in front. So now you're in a weird position. Set your spine and then lift the knees back up to elbow plank. Press the back of your head so you feel really connected all the way up and down your spine. Lengthen through the top of your head, through your heels. We got to get warmed up this morning. So this is your warm up. Always know that you can lower your knees when you want. Try and stay for 2 more breaths. And then lower your knees. Come back on up to your hands. Oh, I forgot something. Come back to your elbows. This is going to feel good. I guarantee it. Lift to elbow plank again, but then lower your knees and keep really strong, like you're broadening the clavicles apart, and lower your pelvis. And you're going to come to Sphinx pose. You should feel no discomfort in your lower back if you're lengthening the spine. Stretch your feet long. And just enjoy a moment in Sphinx. Allow your heart to come forward a bit. Rib cage still stays connected, but lengthening. Good. And then lower all the way to the mat. Bring your hands by your chest. And I'm going to have you lift to cobra 4 times, just each time refining a bit. So wait for your breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Try and keep connection, rib cage back, long back of neck, lengthen, and lower. 2 more times. You don't have to go that high. You don't even have to use your hands if you don't want. And then this last time, maybe linger for a little bit. Check it out. What can I do to refine and feel free and lower down? Good. Curl the toes, push up and all the way back, downward doggy. And walk your feet to your hands. Come to a forward fold. And just wiggle your feet a little bit wider. Bend your knees a lot and just kind of pause in forward fold. Sometimes the wide legs feel really strange, but it feels nice on your hips. You can fold a little deeper. And then wiggle your feet back to hip distance. Maybe you won't go as deep. Really feel all 4 corners of your feet grounded. Lifting your arches and then maybe straightening the legs. Just go Before you guys look good in your backs. And then with your next inhale, sweep all the way up, reach up. And bring hands down through heart center. Good, I'm gonna have everyone grab their blocks now. And then grab your blanket. And for those of you at home, I don't know if you have carpet or not. If you have carpet, don't need your blanket. Everyone else, I'm gonna have you make your blanket not quite as thick and bring it right in front of your mat, but try and make it narrow enough that your blocks will fit on the outside of it. That makes sense. We're going to use that in a little bit, but keep your blocks on your mat for now. That's just there for a bit later. Okay. So find your best Tadasana again. Just kind of work up. And inhale, stretch up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. 2 more times, pranam, just being very mindful of your alignment. And then on your next inhale, sweep all the way up. Again, exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Step your right foot back to deep lunge. And just pause there. Just check out your alignment. Are your heels lined up with the hips? Feel weight in the ball of the foot as much as in the heel. Lift the back heel nice and high. Lengthen your spine. And then maybe 3 times just think, I'm going to let my hips sink. Keep the hips square to the front. Just really feel a nice stretch in the quads, in the left hamstring, the right quads, but the hips move evenly. And then go ahead and lower the back knee. You come on up to Anjane. Again, feel everything connected and lined up. And then touch down and just walk your blocks back as you straighten your left leg. You can flex the foot. I want you to flex the foot, keep a baby bend. Just see, did you lose the alignment? Is the left hip kind of in the same line as the right? You're stretching your hamstring, right? Keep a nice long spine and maybe fold. I'm pressing the heel down. This is runner's lunge. We're working on hamstrings today, if I didn't tell you that. Good, come on up, walk back up. Lift the back knee, and you can step back to down dog on your blocks if you'd like. And then you're gonna extend your right leg, step it through. We'll repeat that on the other side. So find the alignment, find your length, find your connection. And then very evenly, so the hips are even. You're just gonna let the hips descend a little bit. Just feel a nice long stretch. Feel weight in the ball of your right foot. Maybe let your left heel extend a little bit more. And then go ahead and lower the knee, stretch up Anjane Asana. I'm always trying to stay connected. So feels like my left hip crease is moving back, but yet I can stretch it by keeping the hips square and moving them forward a little bit. Good, and exhale, touch down. Runner's lunge position again. I just kind of have to move my foot forward a little bit. Just check, heels and hips aligned. Maybe a baby bend in the right knee. You don't have to use the blocks if you don't need to, but a lot of us have tight hamstrings, so it's not a bad idea. And then keeping the connected spine, stretch out over it. Take a few breaths. Ooh, that's deep. Good. Walk your hands forward. Lift the back knee and step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. And inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And let's just keep going. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. This time, step the left foot back first to that deep lunge position. And if you do have tight hamstrings, I encourage you to turn your blocks to the higher height. You decide. Lift the left heel super high, and then lift the hips up and back to straighten the right leg. This is Parsvottanasana. Just make sure everything's still in alignment. So your heels and your hips are aligned. Nice long spine, using length through the top of the head. You can let the heel descend a little bit, keeping the arch lifted if it feels like you want to. It's a pretty deep pose. Stretch out over. It's the same position as we did in runner's lunge, just keeping everything aligned. Keeping weight in the ball of the foot so you don't hyperextend the knee. Good, and then we're gonna move to a different variation of this pose. So bend your right knee. Step your left foot forward enough that you can ground it down. Again, just see if your blocks are in the right way, position. Feel really stable. Sits bones stay back, rib cage stays back, long back of neck, lengthen, and maybe fold. You'll know if you're really connected through all parts, if you can get a little lighter through your hands. Good. And then come up to a pranam, bend your right knee, step your left foot back to the deep lunge position again, and then step back to down dog. I like to do it on the blocks because it's a little easier for the step through. Extend your left leg, bring knee to nose and step it up. Getting ready for the other side. So I always have to check the alignment, maybe a little bend in the knee. Press through the ball of the foot as much as the heel as you lift your hips up and back and straighten the left leg. Draw your low belly up, but keep the sit bones back. lengthen out, and maybe fold. Maybe the heel descends a little bit. Keep the arch lifted though. Ooh, it's deep. Couple breaths. And then moving to that other variation, bend the front knee first, step the right leg forward, and then keeping the hips square, keeping everything aligned, straighten the left leg. Weight in the ball of the foot as well as the heel. Couple breaths. And then bend into the front knee, set the blocks to the side and step back all the way to down dog. And if you need a little break, go ahead and lower to child's pose, or if you want to do a vinyasa with me, you can. So inhale to plank, full plank this time. Hold, broaden the clavicles, lengthen. And on your next exhale, lower. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, lower. If you want to, you can push to plank first and then downward facing dog, or just go to down dog. Again, step your feet to your hands. You can use the blocks. Uttanasana. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hopefully you're all with me here. You're doing good. Let's keep going. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Back to right foot back first to deep lunge. This time I'm going to have you ground it down. Make sure you're stretched out enough. And then come up to a warrior two position. And remembering last week what we did, keeping all things connected. I like to keep a baby bend in the back knee so I can remember to keep the hip crease back, lengthen all the way to the top of the head. You guys are gorgeous warriors. You are at home too, I'm sure. One more breath. And then inhale, straighten the front leg. Keep weight in the ball of the foot as you then extend into triangle pose. Your block's there if you need it. You can use it at whatever height you want. Or you can use hands at ankle or shin or floor. Giving myself a little chiropractic adjustment. I can feel my spine lengthening. One more breath. And then bend back into the front knee, come back up to warrior two. Bend just a little deeper since we're challenging hamstrings. Nice. And then touch down. Step back, down dog. Bend the right leg. Step it through, deep lunge. Ground the back foot down. Make your way, warrior two. One side always feels different. Check your alignment all the way up the spine through the top of the head. Tracking your knee straight. If you can still see your big toe, you're probably doing that. Weight in all parts of your feet. One more breath. And then on the inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, triangle. Rib cage back. Sit bones are back. Rib cage is back. Shoulders are back. Lengthening. Challenging your hamstring again. And stretching out over the foot. Beautiful, you guys. Good, bend back into the front knee, come back. Warrior two, gorgeous, really nice. Bend a little deeper, see if you can challenge yourself. Woohoo! And touch down. Step back, downward dog. And just move your blocks to the side. If you want a child's pose and you need a child's pose, do that. Or you can do vinyasa again with me. So plank down to the floor, cobra, and down. Down. You can go plank and then down dog if you want, or just down dog. Pause for a breath or two. And then one hand width at a time, I'm going to have you walk to the back of your mat with your hands and come to a forward fold. Tanasana back there. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, you're at the back of your mat for a reason because you can't trip on anything back there. Hopefully, move your blocks out of the way. She likes them for Uttanasana. Imagine that. Okay, we're just going to do a little balance. So shift your weight to your right foot. Lift your left heel. And just kind of check yourself all the way up. And then lift the knee. And if you want to, grab a hold with your left hand and extend your right arm. And maybe lift the knee a little bit higher. You decide where it goes. And release. Wow, good job. Nice balancing. Shift sides. Lift the heel first. Check your alignment all the way up. And then when you're ready, lift the knee. Grab a hold. And extend. Sits bones are back. Low belly is drawing up. Rib cage is back. Lengthening all the way through the top of the head. And release. Good. Okay, we're going back to the first side. And I'm going to have you try this and see how it works. So instead of just grabbing hold of the knee, I'm going to have you interlace underneath. And I always have to think, okay, I'm kind of pulling back a little bit. So I'm pressing down and pulling back. And then maybe you can straighten the leg. So we'll just play with it. Okay. So standing on the right foot again. Feel all parts connected. Lift the knee when you're ready. Interlace underneath. Press down and pull back a little bit so you really feel connected. And then And just see, maybe it won't straighten all the way. That's okay. See if you can extend it. Lengthen up through the top of the head. Maybe lift it a little higher. Good, and release. One more side. And if you need the wall, please do that. Don't wear these very often. They always fall down. And shift sides. Lift the knee when you're ready. Think, well, how can I connect completely? Interlace, hold back, press down, and then maybe straighten. And come on out. Good job. Okay, now grab your blocks if you have them close by and bring them back to the outside of your blanket this time. And you're gonna stand on your blanket in front of your mat. And those of you that have carpet, like I said, just stand on the carpet and have your blocks handy. And we'll do one more sun salute. So inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold, hands to the block. Very carefully step your right foot back to deep lunge. So left foot's on the blanket, right foot's back. They're all guessing where we're going. Lower the back knee. And this time, instead of walking the blocks back, you're just gonna press through the heel and stretch the leg straight by pressing the heel forward. Yeah, now just check. So I have a little baby bend in the knee. The foot has to be flexed. You're pressing the heel down, really connected in the spine, and then just kind of play with maybe going a bit deeper. Try to keep your hips square. Hips stay square, really low belly up, sit bones back. Oh, one more breath. Oh no. Press your heel down and slide it back. Ooh, bend the knee. Hands to the blocks. Lift the back knee and carefully step forward to switch sides. So left foot back. Check your alignment. Lower the back knee. Yeah. I thought we set you out, Artie. Stretch your heel forward. Keep pressing that heel down. Flex the foot. And then just play with it. For me, it feels better without the blocks, but you guys do. Keep the hips square. So every inhale, think I'm drawing that leg into the socket, and then exhale, maybe I'll lengthen out. Artie, you weren't supposed to come down here because we have allergies to you.
You know what? I'm not reacting, so he must have the right kind of, yeah, I don't think I'm.
Oh, Artie, no. Oh, that feels good. Good. Press into the heel, slide it back, lift the back knee. And this time, step your feet back, step your hands back, come to downward facing dog on the block. Oh my. Extend the left leg and step it through to deep lunge. Sorry. Are you sure? Okay. Okay, so okay. So step your left foot up to deep lunge. And then watch me. This is kind of a weird pose. We're gonna do a butt stretch. It's called big old butt stretch, actually. So you're going to turn to the little toe side of your right foot. And so the toes point in. And then make sure your kneecap and your toes point the same direction on your left foot. Bring your left hand to your hip or your thigh. And then slowly twist open. You'll feel it all the way into those glutes. And if you want more stretch even, you can straighten your front leg. Oh yeah, that's deep. Good, and then back into the knee. Turn the heel up. Step back, down dog. Why is it they always go for the one that is allergic? Inhale, lift the right leg, step it through. Deep lunge. Okay, this is the last side, little toe side of the left foot. Right hand to the hip or knee. Just be careful. You don't want to mess anything up. If you can get on the heel, it helps. And then twist. Try and get on the bottom of that left foot. Yeah. Are you okay, Helen? Got it. Okay. Oh my gosh, that is deep. Good. Bend into the front knee. Transition to deep lunge and step back. And go ahead and lower your knees. And just move your blocks out of the way. And transition to your back. I know. Yes, you're a sneaky girl, aren't you? You went all the way around so you could find a way down here. Bring your feet wide on the mat and bring the knees together just to kind of support each other. And just rest there. Go to that side. They aren't allergic to you. Here, go to that side. There you go. Go in, go in, go in. Go in, go in.
Here.
Oh, yeah.
No, but you know. Yeah.
Oh, she does. My
As opposed to.
she my daughter's allergic to her. Yeah. Yeah. She's not too bad, but if you touch her, she'll probably make you sneeze. All right, stretch your arms up towards the ceiling, so arms straight up, and then bend your elbows so your forearms parallel to the floor. Stack your right elbow on top of your left, and either press the backs of your hands together or wrap palms together, or you can just bring hands to your shoulders. That's too deep. So you're in Garudasana arms. Think long side body. And maybe round the low back. So press right between your shoulder blades down. And then just very gently move the elbows and forearms and hands up and down, just stretching out. Press the back of the head down. Good, and then unwind and switch. So left elbow on top of right. Make sure you keep long side body. I'm attempting to keep the shoulder blades on the back. So I feel connected. I'm broadening and maybe rounding a little bit. This is selfish because I pulled a muscle in there somehow. Keep a curve in the low back. Oh, that feels good. Good, and then unwind. Bring your hands by your hips now. Bring the feet right under the knees, in line with your hips. That's it. And then we're just gonna lift to Setu Bandha 3 times. So set up your core, your spine, use the back of your head, and then wait for your next inhale and lift. And lower on the exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Allow the heart to lift, but stay connected everywhere else. Lower on the exhale. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then inhale, lift and hold. Press the back of your head down. Feel nice and long through the back of your neck, through the top of your head. Your chin and your forehead should be even with the floor, or not even, but parallel to the floor. I'm still trying to widen the clavicles, but I press down and my heart can lift. One more breath. And release down. Bring your right ankle across your left thigh. Flex your foot. And then lift your left foot up enough that you can reach up with your left hand and grab your foot and your knee with your right hand. So left hand to foot, right hand to knee. Just check, do you still have connection all the way up and down your spine? And then see, maybe you can stretch the left foot up towards the ceiling and straighten that leg. A weird variation. Try not to sickle your foot, the one that you're holding. Good. And then see what happens if you just lengthen the left leg all the way down to the floor. Oh, you find a cat there. Keep a hold of your right knee and foot. Keep lengthening, flexing the foot. Oh. Good. And then let go of your foot and just straighten it out towards the back of the mat, or to the front of your mat, I guess. And then interlace behind the thigh. And I want you to scooch it down closer to the hip, and then re-straighten the leg, pressing the hamstrings into your hands and straightening. Yeah, that's it. Point and flex that foot a few times. And then keeping the hips level to each other, start sliding your hands up the back of your hamstrings a little bit. And see if you can very gently, keeping the core engaged, bring that leg a little closer to you without anything else changing, just noticing how your hamstrings are open. Good. Now keep the leg where it is. Stretch your arms straight so your fingers are reaching towards your left foot. And just like we did last week, lift your head up an inch, straight up, lift your left foot up an inch or two, and then think, oh, maybe I can reach a little more. Keep a long side body, use that core, scissor your legs a little more. I'm reaching my nose towards my knee. Oh, thank you, Ernie. Good, and relax. Hug the right knee in, and you relax down and just bring it towards your armpit for a moment. Oh, that feels good. Couple breaths. And then bringing the right foot flat, bring the left ankle across. Lift the right foot up enough, you can reach the foot and the knee. So you're kind of just encouraging the knee to move forward. But if you have your spine set and your ankle set, you're going to feel it right in the hip, and that's it. You shouldn't feel it in the knee at all. I'll encourage you to think that way. Stretch the right leg up towards the ceiling, or foot towards the ceiling. Feel it a little more in your hip. And then that foot down towards the floor. Leg and foot stretches long. Oh, that's deep. Yeah. You can kind of move the knee, I guess it would be the lower leg side to side a little bit, just exploring that hip just a little bit. Good, and then let go of the foot so that the foot points the same direction as the other. Interlace behind the thigh and stretch the left leg straight. Press into the hands. Point and flex the foot a few times. And then slide hands up wherever it feels like your hips are staying level with each other. So the left hip doesn't get any closer than the right hip. And then just see where it takes you. You worked on those hamstrings a lot. It's amazing. Woohoo. Good. And then stretch the hands towards the right foot. Lift the head up an inch. So you're not tucking your chin too much. I want you to just feel that neck work. Lift the right leg and then maybe lift a little higher. Scissor your legs. One more breath. And release. Hug the left knee in. And go ahead. Release that leg to the floor. Just hold your elbows and let your arms come up over your head. Feeling the length in your spine and your side body. And go ahead and stretch out for Shavasana. So as you relax, you might want to you want me to bring your blankets around since it's cold in here. I'll just put it on here. Yeah, and then it's there if you need it. Relax your jaw. Relax your face and your eyes. Relax your belly and your low back. Relax your glutes, your hamstrings. Allow yourself to just sink into the floor. Bones feel super heavy. Oh, she's sneezing now. Because of you, bub. As you continue to just relax in Shavasana, I want to share a little excerpt from Richard Rohr's Simplicity book. God calls all of you to take the path of the inner truth. And that means taking responsibility for everything that's in you, for what pleases you and for what you're ashamed of, for the rich person inside you and for the poor one. Francis of Assisi called this loving the leper within us. If you learn to love the poor one within you, you'll discover that you have room to have compassion outside too. But there's room in you for others, for those who are different from you, for the least among your brothers and sisters. Begin to notice the breath moving in and out. Perhaps allow your lungs to open a little bit more. It's like an opening. You're not forcing the air in. You're just allowing the lungs to open up and allow the air to come in and move in and through and back out. Start to move in small waves when you're ready. Bring your knees in. Eventually, just take your time. Rolling to the side, pushing on up when you're ready. Just allow yourself a few moments to just sit, exploring how you are at this moment. And just bring hands to heart center. Thank you all so much for practicing this morning, for being here online and in person. Appreciate it. And I bow to everything that's inside of each of you. Namaste. And before you log off, Nancy, I was wondering how your place down in Florida survived